Hi everyone, I want to talk about anger again today, and you would have seen in my last video that I discussed how we have this habit of suppressing or disproportionately expressing anger. And I want to speak a little bit more about that. There is another reason why people habitually suppress their anger. That's because they're afraid that if they feel the anger, then they will act on it. So I would like to point out that there's a huge difference between feeling anger and acting on it. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean that you need to act on it. You need to immediately react to a situation. So let me give you an example. Let's say you received an email and someone said something in the email that really made you angry. And you immediately reacted to the email in anger. You sent a long email with lots of stuff that you didn't want to write about. And of course, that resulted in something that you didn't want. There is another way to handle anger. Let's take the same example. You receive an email and you're really angry about it. You take a moment and you allow the anger to come up. And you tell yourself that you have every right to be angry because it is okay to be angry. There is something in the email that is making you angry. So you accept the anger, you allow yourself to feel the anger, you take the message from the anger, and that way you don't land up suppressing it or expressing it impulsively. And when you've done that, and of course you can tap as well, after doing that, you will be in a much calmer space. And you will find that your reply is going to be very different when you have acknowledged your anger and you have taken the message from it and you've taken the time to think and ponder, to reflect on the possible course of action, and then you send an email. So, this highlights the difference between feeling anger and acting on it. Of course, there will be situations where you need to act on anger immediately. You will not have the time to think and ponder and reflect. You suppose you've been attacked and you need to immediately react in anger, and that time, that kind of aggression that anger will give you will really help you to react to that situation. But most of the times, there is this gap between the stimulus and the response. You can wait and you can react, or you can decide that you don't want to react or you don't want to act on the anger. People who have difficulty in anger management, they usually say that when they feel the anger, they immediately feel like acting on it. And it has happened so many times in the past that they have lost that trust in themselves to be able to control the anger, which invariably leads to suppression. So they start suppressing the anger, and of course, it builds up and then they explode. So it's a cycle, and you need to break that cycle. In order to break that cycle, you have to allow yourself to acknowledge the anger without acting on it. If your first impulse is to act on the anger, take some time, stop yourself, tap, and give yourself some time, but don't suppress the anger. Let it come up. Sit in a room and vent, and just whatever you feel like punching a person, you feel like just saying certain things to a person, just vent, just sit and vent. And once you felt it and you have voiced it in a place that is safe for you, then you will not have this need to impulsively act on it. And the next time you will not be acting on the anger in a way that makes you regret it later. Now, as I've spoken in the last video, there are many messages that anger has for you. It does ask you to take a stand or make your boundaries firmer and stronger and not let others violate your boundaries. It also tells you to respect your privacy, to respect your time, to take time out, to value yourself, to give yourself the rest and the nourishment that your mind and body needs. So anger has a lot of messages, and if you do not allow it to come up because you're afraid that you might act on it then you'll be really missing out on the messages that anger is there to give you. Now, here's a tip: when you're angry with someone or you're angry about a situation, just sit and tap on that feeling. Let it come up. Use phrases like, I accept this anger, it's okay to be angry. The more you do this, the more you'll feel that anger is not an alien force, it's not something that's not within your control. You will be able to handle your anger much better, and you will be able to get more access to the healthy form of anger rather than the unhealthy forms of anger where you land up being very aggressive or destructive. You will understand what healthy anger is and how it can really help you. Now, there is one more coping mechanism that people use with anger, and that is displacement. We often have this attitude of displacing anger. So you're angry with someone in the office and you come home and you take out your anger on your kids, your spouse, and that is called displacement. What you're doing is you are shifting the source of the anger. The anger is because of something else, and you're displacing it onto someone else or onto another situation. So, one way to handle this kind of displacement of anger is to tap on the original source of anger. Whoever you're angry with, when you come back home, try and take some time, tap on it, or if meditation helps you do that, whatever helps you do that before you start reacting to the people around you. Now, there is one more thing that you need to be aware of. Many a times you will land up distracting yourself with different kinds of activities when it comes to anger. So, you're angry about something that happened in the office, and you come back home and you distract yourself with TV, internet, playing games on the computer, anything. And that doesn't help either. What you're doing is you're just distracting yourself and probably numbing your feelings of anger. And when you do that, it will come up sometime later. So it is very important to take care of things on the same day. If you can't, at least try and take care of it the next day. So tap on the same day, or at least tap on the next day. Don't let the events or situations build up in your mind. Don't let the anger linger. Now, just one last tip. Let's say you are in the office or you are in a public situation and you're feeling angry. And of course, you feel that you cannot tap there. So here's what you can do. These are the finger points, right? You know the finger points. So you can just press these finger points and just say that I'm angry, when you are in a public situation. And then you can say, I would like to release this anger for now, and I would like to go home and process what happened. But for now, I'd like to calmly handle the situation and deal with this when I go home. Now, do remember to deal with it when you go home. Don't let it build up. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that you will give these techniques a try. And I would really appreciate your feedback. Have a good day.